Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Horizons review series. Today we are reviewing episode 65 and I hope you enjoy. So after the chaos of last week, we have Amethio and Liko stuck in this cave, forced to settle their differences and try to figure something out. While Roy and Dot are locked in this intense battle with Sango and Onyx, who are pretty much just trying to stall them while the plan gets underway. And I gotta say, this whole plan from Spinel is pretty well thought out. When you get to the end of the episode, you can kind of see what he's going for and how much he thought about all this. We see some battling from Roy and Dot trying to work on the weakness of Garganacl and hit it with a stomping tantrum and liquidation combo, but they were still struggling to make any sort of progress, and it was a bit disappointing. I thought after all of this training that they'd at least put up a decent fight, but it seemed like the explorers were still toying with them both and just stalling. But the battle wasn't the main part of this episode. The scenes inside the cave were the focus point. We have Liko and Amethio trying to stay warm, and it does result in some really nice scenes, with Scarlet lighting the straw on fire to help them both stay warm. Liko telling Terapagos to calm down as it gets quite angry when it sees Amethio. I think this is pretty clearly the fact that Amethio looks like Gibeon, and Terapagos has clearly seen Gibeon before and doesn't like him, so it brings up bad memories for Terapagos. But we get some really crucial dialogue in this episode. Amethio and Liko basically telling each other why they are doing this. We hear the pressure that Amethio feels from Gibeon, his grandfather. He just wants to please him, he wants to do right by him, and you can feel the weight in these scenes here, and Liko starts to understand him a bit more. Whereas Liko is similar, she started all this from a pendant that she got from her grandma, so she wants to see this through now that she's come so far. They have the same end goal but completely different means. Amethio isn't a bad guy at all, he's just doing the bidding of Gibeon, who is an evil mastermind. And I think all of these scenes just point us closer to a team up between Amethio and the Rising Volt tacklers. Heck, he might even join the crew by the end if it carries on this way. I don't think Amethio knows what Gibeon's grand plan is, he's just a pawn for his grandpa, and you can see he's kind of vulnerable in this episode. They find an opening at the top of the cave and manage to break themselves out with the help of their Pokemon, while a lurking Behem is watching. And at the same time, Roy and Dot are saved by Gym Leader Grusha, who was called by Freed to come and help. But the explorers say it's time to leave as the plan has come to its end anyway. Cool to see Grusha back again. I do wonder if he will have any more importance, if the whole failing of the terrestrial test will come back into play, or if Liko will just remain failed. Freed also arrives and the gang all reunite happily ever after. Also, Liko has one more thing to do before they head back to Orange Academy, and that is staring across at the highest peak of Paldea, which was just a really wholesome scene. The episode ends with a meeting with the explorers. The whole squad is there for the first time in a while, and we see Spinel's full plan come to light here. And it was basically to get rid of Amethio. He literally played him like the flute, lured him into that cave, knowing that he would help Liko escape, just so that he could catch him on film helping the enemy and show everyone, blaming him to be a traitor and betraying the explorers. What an incredible villain they have cooked up with Spinel. Before Amethio can even explain, his own grandfather Gibeon banishes him from the explorers. He says, "Leave, I don't want to see your face anymore," saying that he is going down the same path too. And I'm pretty sure he's talking about Amethio's dad here, who I have no idea who his dad is. Maybe just a character we haven't met yet, but he was probably once an explorer who turned to the good side. But this was just such a fantastic scene, seeing earlier on the pressure that Amethio puts on himself to please Gibeon, and now it's all come crumbling down as he's been kicked out by Gibeon himself. Overall, this episode was really solid. Amethio got the spotlight here, his character arc is going to be insane. It would be so cool to see him join the Rising Volt tacklers, but I think he is definitely straying further and further from the ideals of the explorers, and he'll end up helping the good guys out in the end. This episode had really top tier writing, not that much action, but the story is continuing to shine, so I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts. What is your rating out of 10? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.